Hello, my name is Eve, and today I'll be talking about modern schooling and schooling in the 1950s and 60s. Today, modern technology in school are smartboards and iPads, but in the 50s and 60s, when my grandma went to school, those were not around yet. Her modern technology was listening to radio broadcasts at school, using slide rules, slide projectors, as well as using mimeographs to make copies. When my grandma was in school in the 1960s, the teachers would teach a game called shuffleboard in PE class. Hopscotch was also very popular, more so in the 1950s and 1960s than now. Nowadays, we don't really know about throwing the stone and skipping the numbers. We just jump on the numbers. When my grandma was in elementary school, she was home for lunch. She went home for lunch. She didn't have cafeterias until she was almost done with middle school. Her brothers and sisters had it. The children that didn't go home for lunch brought a sack lunch, and they ate it at school. She would bring a sack lunch on rainy days and enjoy sitting in the classroom during lunch, reading comics and eating lunch. Back in her days, the 5th and 6th graders children would be in charge of traffic. The children in charge of traffic would blow the whistles. She didn't remember a school bus, but the schools were very close in the neighborhood. Children were released to go home and walked home themselves to unlock houses, and sometimes no parents. People didn't worry too much about crimes because there were less crimes in those days. My grandmother remembers disaster drills during her school life. She grew up during the Cold War. In case they were to experience a nuclear bomb, the children practiced going under a desk and holding the desk legs. Back when my grandma was in school, girls always wore dresses. Even though there was no uniform because she attended a public school, girls didn't wear pants. She even wore dresses and skirts throughout all of middle school and high school too, and even the first 2 years of college. In my grandmother's time, school started a lot later and ended a lot earlier, and there were a lot of recesses. Homework wasn't as much as it is now. Students were well disciplined and respected the teacher. Parents supported the teachers. If you got in trouble at school, you'd get in trouble at home. If you were sent to the principal for bad behavior, you would be hit by a paddle. No one had the nerves or guts to misbehave. Hope you learned a lot about school in my grandmother's days in the 50s and 60s.